Hello, George. Kavassilas, how are you?
Very well, thank you, Lilu.
Thank you for
Very
accepting.
excited.
Yes, it's exciting to do this interview over Skype. Thank you.
Thank you too. I'm very honoured and privileged to have been invited by you to be on. Thank you.
My delight. A lot of people that are watching these videos have said you have to interview George. So I'm a newbie with your work, but I watch many videos and I'm excited to start because I feel that part of your message, if not most of your message, is really to tell people look within and
Mm.
follow your heart, follow your inner guidance. Whatever I say, whatever others say, we really have to check it inside. And this is the most important right now. I feel this is part of,
Absolutely.
is probably the core of your message, isn't it? Tell us more about that.
It's absolutely the core of the message, and it's more important than ever. And especially with the events that are about to play on the planet play out, it is of utmost importance that we do that. We, we all have in our core essence this greater aspect of us. It's the part of us that made the decision to incarnate. It's the part of us that even goes beyond that. And see, me, George, is not the creator of this life. I'm the personality of my incarnation that's experiencing this life. I didn't create this life. You could say, in part, I'm co creating as I go along. But in the total truth and absolute reality of the highest levels, I'm actually George is living the experience of the life. But there's a greater aspect of me that's the creator, the orchestrator, and the conductor of this life that I'm having. And to access that, that is within us. It is, it was said by a great man, the kingdom of heaven is within. It was said by many throughout the ages, many great women, many great men. The New Jerusalem, where is that? That's in here. That's where it is. And when we can go within ourselves and access that through our true hearts, then that's where there's that aspect of us that is one with creation, that is one with life, one with the consciousness of this universe and the universal creator. And then there's that aspect of us which is even beyond that, because life is infinite. We exist beyond this universe and beyond the creator of this universe. We exist beyond that level of that being as well. So there's a part of us that holds all the truth, that knows all and sees all.
And
And
that's
that's the,
really important to check always, whatever happens, however idyllic it may look or seem, even the appearance or the channeling
oh,
or the contacts, that is really important to check within and not be lured by something that looks really appealing and beautiful.
absolutely. And not just in beauty, also I would say the, the way they express and portray this incredible intellectual ability. There's not only the physical beauty, but there's also the expressional beauty, which can mesmerize people, which can, the I call it flexing their intellectual muscle. They have this incredible ability to, with their words, to pick people up and just to stimulate people and take people for this magnificent ride. And for me, that's what you've got to be very careful of as well, because it's through their words that they end up stroking your ego and stimulating you, giving you the warm and fuzzies. And so it's not just the beauty, it's not, and also their ability to express this version of love, which because we've been deprived of love so much in this reality, there's beings that are coming here and they're expressing this version of love that when you go really deep within, you'll find that it's actually not a frequency match. It doesn't match with what you have deep inside. The love deep in here has a different feeling to that version of love that they're expressing. And so that I found very interesting, that it's taken me a while, but I can now feel the difference between their version of love and the love that we have deep inside of us.
Tell us a little bit more on how it feels and how we can find that fine tuning and that frequency that you're talking about. How can we really
Mm.
tune into that? Because it feels like it's also very much linked to our self love and our self respect, and how much so that we can feel that, right?
It's the honoring of sovereignty. It's the love that we have in here is connected to, dignity, to the honoring of self and sovereignty. And it's not about being self-absorbed in the way of ego. It's all about the honoring of self, of sovereignty. Whereas this love that's being expressed by all these other beings, many other beings that are here at the moment, sharing this knowledge and information with humanity through channelings and through what have you. They talk all about love, but when you look at the content of the information that they're sharing, at the end of it all, it's always, and it can be very, very clever twists right at the very top end of their content of information. It'll always end up leading you to give your power away one way or another. Whereas the true love that is deep within all of us is we're all equal, we're all free. And it takes a while to come to this understanding. Some people innately know it already, but they can't verbalize it, but they know,
But
if you know
doesn't
what I mean.
isn't it interlinked also with who of our humanness, of part of ourselves that could also change part of that message or kind of interrupt within this pureness?
We do have our belief systems and we do view life through those eyeglasses, if you want to put it that way, or through those filters. But after a while, I mean, you've interviewed so many people, after a while you gain that experience and you do get to realize some people, like I said, innately already have that. I know people who have nothing to do with our world of spirituality. They're just everyday people and they just go about living their lives in a very simplistic way. And the moment you start talking to them, and they'll say, "Well, I already know that," or "I already know that," and you show them an interview or you show them a piece of information that's doing the rounds at the moment, and they go, "We already knew that," and they don't study anything, and they don't research, and they don't do meditation groups, and they're just busy raising their children and going to work and coming home. So this is innately in our humanness, like you just already expressed. We already have this naturally occurring. So we don't really have to overcomplicate things. It really comes down to keeping it as simple as possible and reconnecting with our humanness because that is our, for want of a better term, our godliness.
Yeah, that's what I was
To
going to
be,
ask you. It seems like really we have to honor ourselves as divinity ourselves instead of always waiting for somebody outside that is going to finally give us that one piece of information that is going to change our entire life. And that's really, really, really important. And I feel this deeply in my heart how important it is not to follow others. Even I always say in all interviews I do, check
mm.
within, take what feels right, and at the end, listen to your own self. So I really feel this is particularly important with these changes. And you're saying this is part of a plan, possibly?
It is very much part of plan. Well, everything is by design. There is no such thing as the chaos theory, and there is no such thing as coincidence. Everything is by design on every level of life. And it's just whether people have the capacity to understand the magnitude of intellectual intelligence and processing it takes to create realities such as, especially this one. So the part of the plan is that we have come into this universe, and the construct of this universe is light. So we have come into this universe to learn about light. And you've got your universe happening, and where we all have a spark of us inside your universe, and learning the construct of your universe or the expression of your universe, which is one and the same thing, construct and expression. And to us, you're God, the creator of that universe. And I've got my universe happening, and everybody's got their universe happening. So we're already gods. We're already creators. And what we do is we go inside each other's universe because each universe has its own unique expression, and therefore we end up learning all these different constructs and expressions of life. So there's what's happened is we've all sent a spark of ourselves inside this universe, an aspect of self, to learn the construct of light. And it's the nature of light. Because it's vibration, it's therefore a dualistic expression. And the very nature of light creates division. And the degree of waveform determines the degree of polarization and separation. So when you have a much larger vibration, larger waveform, and slower, it creates a much more intense experience of what we call light or vibration or polarization and separation.
Do you think it's possible to always be in this place of light and love and unconditional love? Is it a possibility? Are we coming to this place where we can be nearly invincible?
Yeah, well, see, in reality, we've never actually been separated. The division and the separation that we experience, we've always got that thread connected to our whole and sanctified essence. So we're always truly connected. So what we go through is the appearance of separation, the appearance of being polarized.
So how can we always stay in this high frequency?
Well, we chose to experience separation. That's why we chose to come down into the lower domains of the universe. Now, the one point I want to make clear here, Lilu, is I want to make a clear and distinct definition because there's people that are going around saying that we here on Earth are at the bowels of the universe, that we are the furthest away from the Creator that you can actually get. And I want to categorically say that that is not true. There's been incredible amount of disinformation that is being propagated around this planet at the moment into the human psyche. Not just now. I mean, it's been happening for thousands of years. Especially, it's been a 6,000-year plan, specific 6,000-year plan to completely decimate the human psyche and to through trauma. It's a trauma-based programming to traumatize a human race and then reprogram it. So that's what has been, happening here. And there's lower dimensions in the universe. There's okay, people understand we're in the third dimension, and we're actually traveling through many dimensions at the moment. But traditionally, it's been known that Earth has been in the third dimension. Well, people don't understand that there's a second dimension, a first dimension. And a lot of people interpret that as the natural kingdom, and they interpret that as the mineral kingdom, as these other dimensions. And that's one way of interpreting or labeling those realms, but the second and first dimensions I'm referring to are not that. You see, there are much lower vibratory realms in the universe, and they are the second and first dimensions where there's really very low vibrational activities that take place. And what we call the astral realm and what we call these sort of lower vibratory interdimensional beings that we're dealing with, be it reptilians, be it, all these sorts of other entities and races of greys and what have you, they actually come from the second dimension, and some of them come from the first dimension. Isn't it fascinating that those sort of entities are at the moment being portrayed as though they are a higher vibration, that they are in the lower fourth dimension, and that these other realms are actually a higher vibration than ours? There's an agenda going on here, and it's not true. They don't exist in a vibration that is higher than ours. The path that we have come to enter this galaxy and then find ourselves into this solar system and onto this planet is actually an offshoot expression from the main body of the universe. So if you look at a woman and you look at the main body of a woman, the areas that we have entered into is actually the womb. So this galaxy is known in the greater universe as the galactic womb. And this solar system and this planet, it's what we call compression. It's the road to compression. So you take the whole universal expression from the higher dimensions right down through to the lowest dimensions, the second and the first that I'm speaking of. Then you compress them And you create this offshoot version of reality, which is taking that whole lot and compressing it and expressing it in one galactic arena. This is what we have entered. But you see, there's beings who are very jealous of who and what we are, and they're trying to trick people into thinking that we are at the bottom, that we are at the lowest, that we are at the bowels of the universe. And that is so not true. The reason we have entered this road to compression is to birth, is we're entering the womb of the divine feminine. This galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, is the nurturing of the mother's milk. We are in the womb of the divine mother. And this solar system and this planet, which is an expression of her, we are on the womb of the divine mother. And there is so much disinformation going on out there. We are not the lowest of the lows. And we are, you could say physically, we are a young race. But what is inside of these bodies,
What's
Lilu,
imprinted?
what is inside of these bodies, Lilu, the spirits and the essence and the souls of humanity, what is inside these bodies, we are the oldest beings in the universe. And the fact is, we do not need the mentoring and the guidance of all these other races that are coming here and telling us how we should be, what we should do, that we should meditate like this, that we should do these techniques, that we should bring all this light in from their ascended masters and all this sort of stuff. That is the great deception, Lilu. The truth is we have it all within us, and all we need to do is reconnect with the vastness of wisdom and abilities that we have as these ancient of beings, because the fact that we are on this earth now and we are about to complete this process says, if you remember anything about your universal journey, will tell you that we are the way showers, that we are actually the ones that entered this universe first. So therefore, we are the most ancient of beings in this universe, and we are showing the way because we've been it all and we've done it all, and we have gained the wisdom required to now birth and become a universal creator of love and light.
And how can we, is this process called the ascension? And is it a matter of reactivating something? Because most people actually don't have memories. I mean, you had extraordinary adventures that allows you to bring back this knowledge, right? So you're bringing a piece. What would you say is your role in this ascension process?
Well, it's about remembering the past. And when I say the past, I don't mean 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago. I mean remembering your past, remembering your journey in this universe. Remember why you decided to incarnate onto this planet. What is it about this planet that you felt so compelled the need to come and incarnate here and have such a deep and intimate relationship with the being who is this planet? I mean, you're on her body. These are the questions to start asking oneself. Why have I decided to come to this planet and have such a deep and intimate relationship with the woman who is this planet? Who is she? Why do I want to be here? Why is she nurturing me every moment of every day? Because without her being this planet, I wouldn't be here. So I can't exist here without her. She gives me the air that I breathe, the water that I drink, the food that I eat. I'm immersed, I'm swimming in her magnetic chamber, in her ethereal templates. I'm so integrated with her. You know, and the truth of it is, Lilo, you can't have an organic incarnation onto a planetary body without first making an agreement with a being that is that planet, and without first your essence going and merging and becoming one with the consciousness of that planet. So, in truth, in absolute truth, I'm speaking in an absolute truth form here. We have a part of us that is in the heart and the core of this planet Earth, our Earth Mother. Our heart, we have a part of our essence that is there because it is from there that we projected to our incarnational constructs. So we are already like this with her. The only thing that's stopping you from remembering all this knowledge that I'm still, learning all the time. Don't get me wrong. I haven't mastered it yet. I've got a long way to go. But even the parts that I do know and understand and remember, The only thing that's stopping people from accessing these things is a partition in the mind. That's all it is. This really thin partition in the mind. It's all about the mind. These beings throughout the ages have reprogrammed humanity. So all we need to do is get out of the mind as much as we can and get into the heart. And when you go into your heart, that is the doorway. That is the portal or the stargate that will give you access to this greater understanding, because you're accessing the greater you. And then you realize that, hey, wow, there's a part of me in the core of this planet, in the heart of the Earth Mother. And then you realize, crikey, wow, there's actually a part of me in the heart of the Sun, because I've incarnated into the solar system. So at some point in my journey, for me to actually be incarnated here, I must have made an agreement with the being and the consciousness that is the solar system. Mm-hmm. And then you, wow, okay. Then you take it, you go to the next level, and then you, because this is the path your consciousness takes when you reconnect to deep in your heart. And then you realize, hey, I've actually made an agreement with the being and the consciousness that is this galaxy. So who's she? And then you realize that you're having these deep and intimate relationships with these beings. You can't exist, it's like you have your body. Mm-hmm. Are you going to allow all these beings to come and be on your body without your permission? Mm-mm. It doesn't work that way. And the beings who want to incarnate into the galactic embodiments and into the solar embodiments and planetary embodiments, you wouldn't want to impose yourself upon these beings. Okay? So you do it through agreement, and you do it through merging. You see, each reality has its own unique vibration. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So each planet has its own expression and its own unique vibration. So what we do is we merge and we become one with the heart of that reality, so we can calibrate our essence to that vibration, to that reality. And that's how we can know and be comfortable and exist in that reality, because our essence is now calibrated and attuned and attuned to that vibration of that reality and that consciousness that is that reality.
You were explaining in some other interviews and videos that you had some challenges sometimes to readapt back to a different when you were coming back here. Tell us about those travel and what happens and how you can recalibrate.
Well, what would happen is, even when you just go into a spacecraft, each race.
That's ordinary.
Okay. If people don't understand my journey, I've been going up in craft and going to other realities throughout my life since a baby. So that's what's been happening. So each race that you would interact with, or one would interact with, has its own unique expression and therefore its own reality and its own vibration. So if you with a group of Pleiadians, for example, they have their own vibration. But then if you're in a group of Rigelian Greys, for example, from Rigel, they have their own unique vibration. Every race has its own unique expression, and the realities they exist in, their planetary systems, their star systems, have their own unique vibration. So, for anybody who's listening to this and they've experienced the Greys, for example, what they do is when they come to your reality, your whole reality ends up shimmering, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in their reality, because what they do is, as they go along, they change the reality. It's like when we go into the ocean, people put on a suit, a wetsuit, or someone goes into outer space, or we fly a plane and we go into a plane up high in the atmosphere. We are taking our reality with us up there so we can exist comfortably. So we need to pressurize the plane. We need to have the right oxygen, and the whole reality has to be what we have down here simulated up there. And it's the same with these beings. They have mastered technology to the point where they can take their reality with them wherever they go in the cosmos. So whether they're traveling to this system or they're traveling to another galaxy or whatever, or other star systems, what they do is they create their reality as they go along, and they can do it as in just a few meters around themselves. So as they walk around here on Earth, what they're doing is they've got the reality with them. even though they can also interact with this level of reality. And sometimes they can come out of their reality just for a short period of time, just like we would, go into the water and hold your breath for a period of time if you're snorkeling and you're looking at this wonderful new world under the ocean there
Mm-hmm.
and the reefs but then you've got to come back out of there and
Mm-hmm.
get a breath, don't you? So it's the same kind of thing, but think of it more vibrationally too, not just the breath side of it, but when you're standing on the surface of another world and you've got this embodiment, which the vibration and the magnetic chamber and the ethereal templates of your makeup is made up for this world, for this being.
Mm-hmm.
When you stand on the surface of another world, you're in another vibration, you're in a different magnetic structure, you're in a different ethereal structure, and so your body literally can't cope. And there was times when I would be hurting being in another world, depending on what the people that took me there, whether they created the reality for me to be comfortable in or they didn't. And so sometimes I'd come back and I'd be in a lot of pain as my body would once again readjust to this reality after being thrown out of whack or out of alignment from this reality because I was starting to adjust to the other reality. So
Mm.
it's not so straightforward when
No.
people travel and go up in ships and all that sort of business. It's not so straightforward.
No. And then there's out of body. There's a time where people seem to be out of their body for a while. It's hard to connect sometimes on a human level. Like I tried to do an interview in Hawaii, and the person I said, "We can't do this. You're not the same than yesterday. You're out of your body right now. We're not
Mm.
connecting here on a human level." That happens. And do you have advice for people like that are
Well, what
doing
I
this,
find
experiencing that?
Yeah, what I find, even if when you wake up in the morning, it takes you a while to come back into your body because, we travel every night, without remembering, most of us, a lot of people just don't remember or realize what they've actually done during the night. But we do go traveling quite a lot and we work a lot behind the scenes on the planet to help humanity.
Hmm.
That's why when you go to bed and you wake up in the morning, you're sometimes more tired in the morning than when you first went to bed. You shouldn't be waking up tired, technically
No.
speaking. You should have slept and regenerated yourself. So
Hmm.
my suggestion is to, maybe just walk on the grass with bare feet, or I like to go for a walk. Cynthia and I, we go for walks in the morning, or just do something that grounds you. If you've got to go and do some weeding, or if for people that are not grounded properly, it's really important to ground yourself. Stay grounded. Therefore, you create a real, nice harmonic balance between your whatever your spiritual essence is doing, your ethereals, all the different levels, your astrals, and you need to just realign them, excuse
Hmm.
me, and recalibrate them to this reality.
So some people call themselves commanders.
Yeah, there's a lot of commanders on the planet. I mean, I did just say a little while ago that we are the oldest and the wisest, and there are many people on this planet who, um, you know, we hold very high positions, not only in this galaxy, but in the cosmic arena. And, we're here to help guide humanity through this next phase. And we're kind of playing, like a midwife role for Earth Mother. We're helping her through this transition as well. So there's a lot of wisdom, it's basically all the great wisdom masters of this universe are incarnate on Earth right now.
The
Now
greatest of the greatest.
we are the ones we've been waiting for.
I love that sentence. Tell us about some of your most delicious, amazing, extraordinary experiences. Because I've heard
Wow,
of
such
some
a
of the
good way of putting
painful
it.
one, but I just want to see
Mm,
the most beautiful, precious,
mm.
just like, wow.
Yeah, I've had quite a few of those too. Okay. One that I found amazing, this is a little bit, you know, out there, but I'm going to share it with you. I
Hmm.
went to the home world of the cricket races. Your crickets in the garden? They're actually playing an amazing role on this planet. When they sing their song, they're helping to tone the earth in a certain way. They're playing quite a big role without people realizing. And I met the queen of the cricket races, and she was amazing. It was quite a dark world, and it was a kind of the area where we met. There was a mist up to my knees, and she was upright. She was a bipedal type of being. She had a long gown with a big collar, and she had a cricket type. of head. It was unusual. And she just drifted across on that mist to me, and we stood in front of each other, and we exchanged so much love and so much wisdom and knowledge. It was incredible. And I wasn't there just as George, I was in a different capacity. I had my embodiment as George, but there was more of me present in the body. And it was kind of like, because I play a role in the Galactic Council, it was more on that. I was playing that sort of role in that moment. I was functioning from that capacity. And so when I come back into this capacity as George, a lot of that doesn't come through. I just have threads of those experiences come through. But I remember it was all about the toning of the planet. It was all about the work that they're doing. It was all about the gratitude for the work that, you know, that race is playing in the greater scheme of things here, because this is the melting pot of the universe, and we have all life in the universe expressed here. And there's many races playing many roles here in actually facilitating this, managing this, and making it happen. Even though it appears as though at times things are very negative here, the actual beauty, the amazement of what's actually taking place here is, it's so hard to imagine how fantastic this place is at the moment. I know it is. For some people, they can more than others. But when you look and you look at the biodiversity that we have on this planet, you look out in your garden and you look at all the different expressions of life, to have that much biodiversity in one place, compressed, because this is about compression, because we're all going back to 0 point, we're all going back to balance. You know, what it takes to create this is amazing. And so many races for such a long period of time, eons, have been working on this project. This is really big. And then you've got these other characters that come along and just want to hijack it and spoil it and sabotage it. Don't worry, they're not going to succeed. It ain't going to happen. Yeah.
Is it already written?
Of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because we created this. It is us who co-created this reality. In actual fact, the reality is we contracted them to come and challenge us.
Tell us about the cosmic matrix.
Okay, we have the Earth matrix. Now I'm going to ask you, how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go with this? Because this will shock a lot of people if you want me to take it all the way.
We'll see. Let's see.
Okay.